Hello, I'm Steven, and in this video I'm going to show how Odoo could be used by a school district as an example for tracking equipment, knowing which classroom it is in, which building it is in, repair history, tracking even the service life to see how often they need to be replaced or serviced, and warranty information to know if something's under warranty, not under warranty, and so on. So I am at demo5.odoo.com. If you wanted to follow along, what you do, you type in demo.odoo.com. It will create a demo instance of Odoo for you for free. It's that easy, no sign up. You just do that, and then you get this. Now I had to go and install the maintenance app. To do that, I went into apps, and then I just typed in maintenance, and then right there I could click activate, and it was there. But I already have this installed, so now I can just go straight to maintenance. I'm just going to type in maintenance. And now here I have an equipment. Under equipment, I have work centers and machines and tools. So in this example, I put equipment as computer hardware, and there's even some shop hardware there as well. There's data pre-populated with Odoo, so most of this here is actually pre-populated data. I just edited the records slightly. And then you have work centers, which I think is a good allegory to rooms. So you might have a shop classroom, you might have a classroom, and equipment would be assigned to and should live within those classrooms. And so this one here, I have a tag. Tags can be anything you want, but I went ahead and made the tag correlate to a building code that'll help us later when I get into some filtering and grouping. It makes that a little easier. And then I also added a code, which is a combination of the room number and building code. That's just for visibility. And then we gave it a name, so we can just give it a room number. You could probably also be using the code over on the room name. There's some flexibility with how this is set up here. All right. So since Odoo is an ERP, it's focusing on manufacturing too, so there's some information here that probably doesn't make sense for this use case. So we're mainly skip over that. Capabilities you might actually utilize for something special in the room. Maybe it's a certain equipment that the room has size-wise or something, maybe outlets. So that could have some use. But what I'm focusing on here, though, is the equipment. So this room here has a monitor, a saw, and a scrub plane, are all equipment assigned to this work center. And so I can click on one of these records and go in and see that equipment. I can see that it's used by a department, and then there I picked a department for teacher, and I keyed in the vendor. You could make it be something different. Maybe you buy it from Walmart, and then adding a vendor is as easy as that. Vendor reference code could just be the order number, and then you have a serial number, which would then be used to track the item. If you didn't have a serial number, you could assign an asset tag and put that on it, as well as a different way to track this unique item. So we have a warranty expiration date, so this is going to help you again. If you're doing a repair and you're, hey, is this under warranty? You can just come in here and look and see, and then if it is, you have your supplier you bought it from, and you have your reference code as well, so it's going to be easy to find that PO that came from. And then you have a maintenance tag, and this is where it's tracking how often it fails. For some equipment that would fail maybe more often, this is more useful, but for monitors, maybe they don't fail as often. So you would key in the expected time between failure, and then it's going to try to guesstimate that for you there. All right, so that was the Work Center view. If I go under machines and tools, this is where the actual equipment lies. And you can see this is just a card view here right now. I can go into one of these ones. This is the one we were just looking at actually. So it's another look at the same thing, and the same tabs you can see are in there. So if I want to put in a maintenance request, I can just come up here and click maintenance. And so this would be from a teacher's perspective. They can have this own private Kanban view of work requests for this piece of equipment. And so they can put in this request, say will not turn on, and it can get assigned to the maintenance team. and corrective or preventative. You might also have machinery that needs greased or something after so many hours. Maybe if it's a shop tool or something, so you might even have some automation around that, and just like, oh, once a year we should grease that machine, or something like that. So there is that distinguishing and some automation that you can build in with that. Just real quick to show that automation, what that might look like. If I go to maintenance and then I click on the gear, there's automations. And I do have another YouTube video about how to set up automations, but from here you can set up a flow of events that happen, whether time-based or rule-based, that can actually do a lot of stuff, one of which could be making new requests as needed. All right, so you have requests. The tech working on it can move it in progress. When they're done with it, they can hit it repaired. But if it's bad or something, they can just scrap it. And then now you've got a paper trail. If I go into here, you can see under the log, when and who moved it to the different stages. So now we've got a good documentation, who touched this and what did they do with it. And as you go through the stages, you can be logging a note here, and scrapped, was cracked, no way to repair it. And then you can log a note. You could even attach an image there. There's a little attachment there. You could do an image. You might even throw a picture of it on there or something like that. All right, so that is how it would look like from a view individually. So this is tracking both requests to service these items. So it's a bit of a help desk, and it's tracking the items, their warranty, their serial numbers, and then now the final piece is just knowing what we have out there. If you have multiple schools that you might be going between, who knows what is where, and you need some way to track that information. And so we were at this view before, and this is just a card view. Obviously, if you had thousands and thousands, this would be hard to use. Over here, we can switch to the list view, and then this is the power of Odoo. It has really good grouping and filtering tools. So to start off with, we could filter by department, and we can see there's one teacher, and then 10 aren't assigned a department yet. And from there, we can do a custom group, and let's do it based on the work center. So now we see that we have a work center, and I can see that it has that KHS tag, and it even has that location code. Now those two columns are custom. I actually just added those in, and this is again one of the powers of Odoo, the ability to create custom views and reports. So over here on this filter dropdown, I did an add custom field, and I'll real quick show the formulas there. So this one here for the tags, what I did is I came to add, and I did a related field, and then with Odoo we can drill through. So the object inside of the equipment has a work center, and so inside of a work center it has a tag, and then a tag has a display name. And so that's how I set that one up there. And then you just change the name to be what you want it to be. So that would create a new column called new tag, duplicate of that one. So obviously you don't need that in real life. I'll drop that one out now. And then the location was very similar, but instead of picking workcenter.tags.displayname, I was picking workcenter. I believe it was code, and then that came up there. But if you put in the name, you do workcenter.name, whatever you would do for that. So this is one of the really neat powers of Odoo, though, is now you can have these custom columns show up for you. All right, so we have the grouping. We saw that, and how even you can tier your groupings underneath it. You can see from a maintenance view, if you wanted to see the equipment assigned to you, that you have some work to do or something there, you can do that. You can also do deeper filters, so based on, say, that tag that we were talking about earlier. So now I'm curious about certain equipment pieces. We need the work center here, so we can be looking at the location. So the work center tag is in, and then reload, and there's my one single tag that I have. And if I needed more tags, you can always add tags. That's easy to do. But there, so now it's filtered by that tag, and I just see those items. So that makes it super easy to do that. And I could group by maybe category would be a good one here. So now you have furniture, tools, and then I have monitors, so those two categories show up, and that's really clean and fast to find. You could add other items to this, like you could get that serial number and then have that displaying. Oh, it's already a default field in there, so you wouldn't have to add that. It means you could search on that serial number. So maybe you have a piece of equipment and it's sitting on a cart in a hallway and you're not sure where it goes. Now you can search in here and you can find where that's at. Maybe you want to know how many Samsung monitors that are existence in the school district. You can go ahead and key that in. You'd probably want to use tags to get in a little deeper. So here they put in their demo data, the inches. You might even want to consider using tags in of themselves to more accurately report on common items to make that a standard. But this is real quick how you could do equipment tracking with Odoo. Odoo has a price structure based on a per user cost. They have multiple ways you can do hosting. You can host yourself, you can host in the cloud, you can host in a cloud yourself, you can host on a custom server. They provide the cost for Odoo, just high level, is a per user basis if you use more than one app. Here we were just in the maintenance app, so actually it would be free for as many users as you want, as long as you were only using the maintenance app. If you moved on and used any other apps, the Odoo would then charge per user, which can vary a little bit, but it's roughly $40 a user. Want to see more about Odoo and the pricing structure, you can have a look at my How Much Does Odoo Cost video and dig into that a little bit deeper.